December 1st in Mississauga, Ontario, boxing returns to the Hershey Center, and the man with his name on the marquee is here with us at the Fight Network. Cruiserweight prospect Denton Daley. Denton, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, the Hershey Center, it's almost becoming like a home away from home for you again. Are you excited to be back there in front of your hometown crowd? So
absolutely, absolutely. I love entertaining for the crowd, and I love the support that I'm getting. It's very, very good atmosphere. I love fighting there.
Last time out at the Hershey Center, perhaps your best performance to date against Jason Douglas. A little bit of a rivalry, but also a little bit of controversy with how it ended. You took a little bit of flack for how it all ended. Tell us, I mean, what is your opinion of how it ended? Did you think you did anything wrong with how the knockout resulted?
You know what, to tell you the truth, I personally don't feel I did anything wrong. I feel that I was just caught up in the heat of the moment, the momentum of the fight, and you know, sometimes you get carried away in there, but you know, if the tables were turned, you know, it would have been the same. I'm sure he would have done the same thing, or you know, I wouldn't hold anything against that. But tell you the truth, I just feel it was just part of the swing. It was just part of the moment. Now,
you and Jason had previously trained together before as well. Have you reconciled in any way, or are you just moving on after how it all
No,
ended?
we just move on. It was weird how the whole thing started. I thought we were friends. According to him, we were never friends.
Right.
You know, so yeah, we just moved on. I've never seen him or spoke to him since then. I'm sure he probably doesn't have anything to say to me as well after that. But yeah, you just move on. It's just one of those things.
Well, again, perhaps your best performance to date, but on December 1st, you take on Mauro Ordiales, a guy who's been in there with a lot of ranked guys as well. Do you consider this to be your biggest step up in your career?
Definitely. I definitely do. Very looking forward to this one. The motivation is that he's a hard puncher, and I'd like to see how I react to that and how do I control that. So as for step up, definitely. He's got to be the biggest. He's fought on 5 different continents, Russia. He's been all over. He's fought for some titles. So I'm definitely looking forward to this fight big time.
And he's faced other cruiserweight contenders and cruiserweight prospects, a lot like yourself, guys like Paweł Kalajic, you know, one of the top cruiserweights from Poland who's coming up. Do you look at that and look at how they performed against him, particularly the guys who beat him, and kind of measure yourself against that? Is that some of your motivation going into this fight?
Absolutely. I've always done that. I've always see how it was done, you know, why it was done when I watch these fights, and I look at it and I say, okay, well, that's the next level. That's where I need to be. And when I train, I look for those little key moments, key tactics that were used to either, you know, for that fight to, you know, how did he win that fight? You know what I mean? And I use those tactics and I use that to train to get myself going, yeah.
Well, you've been moved relatively fast. You know, you're facing a guy like Ordiales, a guy who other prospects might face a lot later on in your career. I mentioned Kalajic, who faced him after 28 pro fights. You're facing him after 7.
Yeah.
What are your immediate goals now in your professional career?
Hey, well, just to get over this one,
right.
You know what I mean?
Assuming you do.
Yes. You know what? I was very disappointed about how the whole Canadian title thing went down. I was definitely looking forward to that. Being Canadian, not been in boxing as long as, you know, most people. I still would like to pursue it, you know, but if that doesn't work out, we are looking towards the NABF. So we are looking big. And yes, I am moving fast. You know, I do understand that. And with understanding that, I know there's a lot of responsibility, and I got to ensure that I'm ready and I'm always training for these opportunities. So.
And it's interesting that you're moving fast as well, because you are a successful business owner as well. And some would say you don't have to box. I mean, in order to make a good living, you don't have to do any of this. It's just a lot unlike what other people do. You still have that drive and that motivation that, you know, despite the fact that you have money coming in elsewhere, you feel as though you still have to do this?
I feel like I have to. You know, I'm a competitor by nature, competitor by heart, whether it's basketball, boxing, whether it's anything. I just love it, you know what I mean? I love to thrive on it. I love the adrenaline rush, and like to stay active, you know, exercise, health. I want to be able to look back and say, you know what, I did a little something here, you know what I mean?
Well, the cruiserweight division as a whole, as you continue marching forward, at the top, it's not a young division, but by any means. You know, you're 30, you're coming up fast. Do you kind of look at that and say, hey, in a real short period of time, maybe I can slide in there right away and take some of these older guys off the top?
Yeah, you know, it's always been on my mind, to tell you the truth. You know, I can, you know, have a nice place in there. I can get myself in there. Not to take anything away from the champs out there, the cruiserweight. Those guys are excellent. Those guys are good. They got a lot of experience. What I've noticed is when you're a bigger guy, you can go longer. You can fight at a later age. So, but yeah, I do see there's opportunities. There's windows. You know, there's definitely windows, and I'll be working hard to get there.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you crash the party, and looking forward to seeing you December 1st at the Hershey Center as well. Corey Erdman with Denton Daley.